Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome to another round of coffee and questions. What are we going to talk about today? I'm going to try something new in wood carving, so I thought, hey, I want to get myself a better, stronger angle grinder than these, 7 amp. And I got a couple of them that might be less. I got a Milwaukee, I have a DeWalt, and I have, of course, whatever, the Makita. Yeah, the Makita. So I went out to Harbor Freight because I wanted to pick up a grinding wheel. And while I was out there, they had these Hercules angle grinders, and they got their typical sale going on and stuff, and I managed to pick one up for $60. It's this one right here. This is the 11 amp, and I thought I'm going to try it. 11 amp, pretty dang good. So I thought, well, let me bid it, let's get it home, let's give it a try. So I'm going to do a little bit of a review on this. It just says 11 amp motor, 4.5 inch paddle switch, small angle grinder, and so I'm going to save you the trouble of the unboxing. Let me get it out of the box, I'll tell you what comes in it, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to pan down and let's go through it. Instruction manual, and here's the handle for it right here, and we'll put that on here in just a bit. You get an extra set of brushes. That's kind of handy, nice to have. Now there's that spanner wrench. It's a little bit more flimsy, than most of them, but it'll do the job. A lot of times I hand tighten it, so we'll see what happens. Here's the grinder itself. Right here. It's got some weight to it, I'll tell you that. And they also give you, it's a 24 grit grinding wheel. That's kind of nice. These are a little bit better than the cheap, Chinese ones that you get out there. So, alright, that's what was in the box. Alright, so we get rid of the box. It's a decent box. Nobody cares about the boxes in particular, really, but anyway, the grinding disc, I won't put that on there right away. I want to try out, some of their other grinding wheels that they have for shaping wood. So, but it's nice to have. Nice it was in there. Okay, so here's the unit itself. Like I said, it's got some weight to it. It looks well constructed. Like I said, I'm used to buying the other brands, the name brands that got the, they really got the test of time, and I've abused the hell out of them and they're still working. So the handle, I put it on the left. I mean, you can do what you want depending on if you're right or left-handed. So let's just screw this on here real quick. Okay, so it's got the paddle switch here with the little safety trigger. I like these. I like these more than I do the slide switches. So if you got to shut this off in a hurry, you can just let go. Whereas with the slide switch, you're going to be fiddling with it. So this is kind of one of the things that I really liked about this. I picked up the display and I held it out there before making, my final decision on this. So this is cool. Okay, now the little brushes, those are extras. I'll put those away for later. Spanner wrench I'll keep around, handy most of the time. I can hand tighten my discs on there, and I don't use that spanner wrench, but for certain things that I'm going to be using it for carving logs and wood, I will use it. I will tighten it up much better. Give me just a sec. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to hook that up in a minute, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it up to a shaping disc that I bought while I was out at Harbor Freight. It is, let me grab it here. Let's see if I can hold it together. I got the 4.5 inch Carbide cup grinding disc, and I want to try this on some wood. I want to see, because I want to carve some bigger objects and I want to take bark off of the trees and stuff, and we're going to give it a whirl here. So I'm going to put that on there, and then I'll pan over and I'll show you how both that wheel and this grinder work. Now I have an idea that it's 11 amp. It's going to be pretty powerful. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm sure that it will be, and that's what I wanted. I wanted that additional power. So while I was out there, I got it for 60 bucks. I thought I'd try it. I could have paid a little bit more. I could have got myself another Makita or one of the others, or I could have paid, you know, I don't know, another $40 more or $30, whatever it is, and gotten a name brand one that has, like I said, a proven track record. But I wanted to give this Hercules brand a try, and it's 11 amp and it was 60, and I thought, okay, why not? And then I got the 20% coupon, of course. So I mean, I tried this Carbide wheel. These are like 10 bucks. Now I'm going to compare that, I mean, to another one in another video, but for this I want to focus mainly on this grinder, and let's see how it works in terms of power and stuff. So give me a few minutes to set up. I'll pan over. Let's get right after it. Okay, now before I go, I was in a little bit too much of a rush. You want your safety glasses, a face shield would be better. You're going to do this for any length of time. You definitely want a dust mask, and you want to wear gloves. Not so much with the grinding wheel. It's a little bit safer because you don't get that kickback that you would with a chain, you know, driven one, which we'll do in another video. But for this and this carving disc, this is the Warrior disc that I was talking about. And I wanted to try this. It's a cup wheel, Carbide. When I first felt this, I thought, you know what, this thing just does not feel like it's going to do worth a damn. And it just doesn't have, I don't know, I can't explain it. It just doesn't seem to be that it was going to be that good of a disc. But I did try this yesterday on another angle grinder, but I want to try it on this. It does work well. I'm going to pan over and I'm going to show you, but I'm going to skip the gloves and the mask because I'm just going to do this for a few seconds. Then I want to come back and address, you know, your questions, and we'll go from there. But I want to show you how this works. Okay, this is about as close as I can get, and I don't want to mess up my camera, so I'm going to do this for just a few seconds to show you. Alright folks, I'm back from that little demonstration with this Warrior cup wheel. I have it unplugged, and I would tell you as a safety precaution, always have your angle grinders unplugged before you change the wheels and so forth. Safety, eye protection, breathing, and gloves. You'll see that in most all these videos, but like I said, I didn't do it on this one. It's easier to talk. I only did it for a few seconds. So let's talk about this grinder. 11 amp, I paid 60 bucks for it. I don't make any comments about the box. It's just a cardboard box. It's going to get thrown out. But it's nice that all the parts were there, you know, I mean, and they're good quality, you know, parts. This thing seems to be, you know, fairly well constructed. And I figure it like this. I'm going to take a shot at this grinder. I'm going to see if it's what it's cracked up to be. There is a 90-day return policy. They told me, you know, I have a warranty for 90 days. If in the 90 days, if anything goes wrong, I can return it, get a new one. And you know, they said, look, if you're unhappy with it after, you know, a handful of days, just bring it back and we'll give you credit or we'll give you your money back, because they see me out there quite a bit, so they were really nice about it. So return policy, I don't know if it's the full 90 days or if they were just telling me, you know, play around with it, see if you like it. But nice of the folks out there. They have a good return policy at Harbor Freight in spite of everything negative we say about them. I mean, you know, I haven't had any problems returning something I was unhappy with. So back to this. I've got my DeWalt's, I've got two DeWalt's, I've got a Milwaukee, and I have a Makita. This has more power. I mean, definitely. Is it a better made one? Maybe not. But it's damn close, okay? And I like it. I mean, I like the feel of this handle here. It's got a good grip. My hand goes around this nicely. I like this trigger switch over the slide switches, like I've already told you. And it's all around. I'm hoping that this thing stays with me for the years to come. I mean, some of the ones I've got are 8 years old plus. I've had them for a long, long time, and they're still working. So I hope this one does the same. Another thing I like about this that I think is really great in the design is this indexing right here of the guard. You just flip this tab and I can move this and you can lock it back in. Now if you want to take it all the way off, there are grooves on the inside of this. It lines up and the whole thing comes off. I'm not going to take it off. It's kind of a no-brainer thing. I mean, if you want to do that. Another thing, Another thing I really like about this right here is this lock button. I just can depress that, it locks it, and a lot of my wheels, like I said, I hand tighten. With a cup wheel, I went ahead and I used a spanner wrench and I snugged it up a little bit better just because it's the first time using this. So, but nice easy way to get them on and off. So with the safety shield, like on my Makita and on my Milwaukee and all the others, there's a screw. This has got this little switch right here. Just switch it, move it, lock it back down, it's good to go. Kind of got interrupted phone call, so let's see, what else did I notice about this? There's not that much vibration when you're using this. It actually runs really smooth. Feels well built, well balanced. I mean, I'm liking it so far. It does feel like it has a lot of torque when I'm using it. It's got a lot of power behind it, which I really like, because I'm going to try some chainsaw blades on this in a little while, and I'm going to try a more aggressive cup wheel. We're going to do a comparison in the next video from the Warrior brand cup wheel to Kutzall. Now, there's not much of a comparison, but still, we'll do it. Anyway, back to this. I mean, I like it so far. It's very nice. Would I buy it again? Yes, I would. Okay, there is nothing to me cheap feeling about this. I don't know. I would tell you when you're out there, pick it up and hold it yourself like I did. After holding it and playing around with it, I mean, I went ahead and bought it because, like I said, I needed one. And somebody said to me, well, why do you want so many grinders anyway, angle grinders? I don't like fooling around taking wheels on and off. So now I have 5 of these, which is plenty as far as I'm concerned, unless I have to replace one. I got a cutoff wheel on one, I've got flap discs on another, I want a cut brush on one, and I want a chainsaw blade on another one. So that all I have to do is grab and go, and I can just cruise along through whatever project I'm doing, so I'm not sitting there spending a lot of time putting wheels on and off. That was my main reason. And I wanted to try these Hercules brands. I mean, what the heck? Heard a lot about them, decided I'd give them a try. You could spend more money, of course, I mean, and get, you know, a much better one probably, you know, that one of the other companies makes. But I would tell you, spend a little bit more money and buy this over those Chicago Electric ones. You're not going to be disappointed. I've never owned a Chicago Electric one. A friend of mine does. I'm not impressed with it. I think they're kind of junk. I mean, to be honest with you. This right here, I feel, is a really well-made quality grinder for the money. So I would tell you to seriously take a look at it. It's just a quick kind of a review on this angle grinder because I just picked it up. I've only been using it for a few days now, and so far I'm really liking it, and I'll show you a project in the coming videos where I did use this, and I used it, you know, with this Warrior Carbide cup wheel. But Carbide cut wheel, $10, you know, got the 20% off, so I paid less, of course. Would I buy it again? Yeah, I would. Now, I don't know how long that cup wheel is going to last, and so I'm going to do another video comparing this Warrior brand cut disc to a Kutzall. So like I said earlier, not much of a comparison, but I'll show you the differences. So anyway, I'm the home handyman. I didn't want to keep rattling about this. There's not a lot to say about this angle grinder. It's got a nice cord on it. It's long enough for me. It feels good. You can put the handle right, left. Nice indexing here for the guard. Okay, on and off, you know, the nut right here. It's a little bit thinner. Everybody criticized it. I think it's sufficient for what it is. 5/8 to 7/8. It's right here for you. So there's no fooling around by adding adapters or anything like that. I prefer the paddle switch right here, like this, with the release mechanism on it, you know, over the slides. Okay, I like to be able, when I let go, this thing shuts down. Just a safety feature. Okay, I'm the home handyman. I hope you click subscribe. Follow me. Watch this next video. I'm going to compare these two Carbide shaping discs. And let's see how they compare and what I would do. You got $10 versus one that's much more expensive. I'll see you on the next video. You folks have a great day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.